The purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform. It is no substitute for professional care by your doctor or your qualified healthcare professional. Never disregard or delay professional medical advice because of something you've heard on this podcast or in any linked material. Guests who speak on this podcast express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions. Dr. Shirley neither endorses nor opposes any particular opinion discussed on this podcast. The views expressed on this podcast have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, practice, institution, or other entity with which Dr. Shirley may be affiliated.
Welcome to Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty. This podcast is curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD, as the definitive source of holistic wellness through beauty.
Hi everyone, it's Dr. Shirley. Welcome to 15 Minutes of FAB, a segment of the Forever Fab podcast where I review products, services, experiences, and frankly, whatever, in 15 minutes or less. If the full-length podcast is a couture dress, then 15 Minutes of FAB is a button-down Henley paired with leather leggings, so it's a bit more casual. If you don't have time to tune into my full-length podcast, check out 15 Minutes of FAB. Some have considered it truth and beauty, plastic surgery secrets, or as a nerdier academic take on wellness and beauty with a dash of fashion, of course, because that's FAB. Consider it what you may. My aim is to engage you as a credible and authoritative voice in most, if not all, aspects of beauty and wellness with a dash of fashion. And this includes products, wellness services, technologies, new scientific research, and innovations in plastic surgery. Also very exciting, just juicy stuff. As the founder of Holistic Plastic Surgery, and I am, my approach to beauty is through a lens of wellness that's grounded in science, backed by medical study and research, strengthened by my clinical experience, and that's a lot of years, and bolstered by surgical training with the use of principles and techniques of plastic surgery. So I combine all of that stuff to bring you Forever Fab and 15 Minutes of Fab. And then, of course, there's my love of fashion, of course. So, in essence, I feel uniquely qualified to talk with you about beauty, about wellness, aesthetics, and plastic surgery, as well as products and services within those spaces, and a dash of fashion. And I feel uniquely qualified not only because of my extensive training and my expansive background, both of which have been very expensive for me, but also because I'm one of you, right? Many of the human issues around aging and being a fierce fab person, as well as an agent for positive change, I try to live these too. You're not alone. So together, we can help the world to become a more beautiful, forever fab place. So that said, let's get started. In this new year, I've decided that it will be one of expansion and discovery. So I'm going to explore all sorts of topics, near and possibly far-fetched, while still focusing on the topics that make forever fab fabulous, namely fashion, the art of living well or wellness, and beauty. As part of my philosophy of holistic plastic surgery, where I believe that beauty emanates from within, wellness does play an integral role in my practice. This goes for many aspects of life that help you to live in grace and beauty, including nutrition, exercise, the use of products, the engagement with technologies, as well as mind, body, spirit, and, of course, science. So, today's episode is called The Future is Beautiful. And the future is beautiful. You've heard my episode on the year in review, right? So, in the year that's passed, I review all the things, good, bad, ugly, neutral, all the things, many of the things that have happened in the past year. But now, this is sort of my year in predictions, right? In prospectus. So these are my beauty, fashion, and wellness predictions for 2023. It'll be interesting to see which of these come to fruition. I think a number of them will. So, my Fab 5 predictions for fashion. Number 1, athleisure is here to stay, but it won't be as prominent. I think people will start dressing up more and dressing up again, and I'm really excited about that because I've got some pieces. Oh, and I'm not sure I could fit into them anymore, but I've got some pieces and I'm looking forward to trying to squeeze back into them. Number 2, fashion prediction. Varying hemlines will suit not only the times, but the wearer. Whether it's micro, mini, or maxi, it will depend more on your individual style than the trends, right? Or the fads, or whatever they may be. Fab 5 prediction for fashion number 3. I was doing some research and I found that UK Vogue predicted that sheer is back, like bearing it all. I kind of agree because I'm seeing it, all over the place, sheer. But I think it will be a bit more modest, right? I think that, just modesty and, well, most people wouldn't call me modest, but at least mystery, I think is important to have. It's alluring. So while UK Vogue predicted that sheer is back, I tend to agree, but only to a certain extent. I think that sheerness is going to be modest, tasteful, alluring, and therefore mysterious. That's my prediction. Fab 5 prediction for fashion number 4. Jewelry also will be a bit more understated. Lots of people who know me and have seen me have commented on what I like to call my armor, right? Jewelry. And sometimes I sort of stack on quite a few. But I think, there's a time for that. And then there are other times. So I think jewelry will be a bit more understated, at least for me. But I predict that it will be more understated for lots of people. Fab 5 prediction for fashion number 5. Heel heights for shoes will be more fashionably reasonable and comfortable. Oh my gosh, this past year we saw heel heights, of 7+ inches. And although many of those were platforms, so they weren't so toweringly uncomfortable, I think, that moment has perhaps passed. If you have them, keep them. I'm sure this trend will circle back in a few years, if not sooner. But I think for now, especially with perhaps people going back to the office, back into work, I think heel heights are not going to be as huge and chunky and clunky and high as they had been, even for fun. Moving on, my Fab 5 predictions for wellness coming up here already in 2023. Number 1, sleep will become an increasingly essential topic of discussion. We talk so much about so much in terms of how to be well. And many times I have found that the conversation and the discussions have not mentioned sleep. Hello, it's the body's way to recuperate and rejuvenate. It is so important. It is quintessentially important to almost every aspect of our life. So sleep. Yeah, for sure. Number 2, weight management will experience an evolution based not only on science, but also on nature. All the medications, the pharmaceuticals, the injections that are out here in the market once a week, once a day, be it pill, be it needle, whatever the case may be. Very exciting. Very exciting. Not only for the people who legitimately need those medications, but also for the people who don't legitimately need it, but just need a little help for a short period of time. I hear you. But I do think that has to be sort of blended in with what our nature is. We have to better understand who we are and how we do things so that maybe we don't come to need those medications in the future. Know what I'm saying? That's so hard. That nature aspect of it's so hard. Believe me, I'm going through it. Fab 5 prediction number 3 for wellness. Nutraceuticals will become a standard routine for many people, especially those who are 35 plus. It remains that the standard American diet is, sadly, it's actually called SAD, just not doing it for us. Just not. Let me rephrase that. It does it for us for a short period of time, like that gluten-free, dairy-free, fabulous carrot cake muffin that I had this afternoon. So good. But overall, in the end, it's just not it. It's just not it. Every once in a while, not so bad. Like I live by the 80-20 rule that I learned when I was getting my integrative nutrition certification at IIN, Institute of Integrative Nutrition, online. So the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the time you do your best, you just get it done. And then 20% of the time, it's okay. It's not called cheating. It's just called living your life. So 80-20 works. Nevertheless, for that 20% where you're just not doing as well as you'd like to, there are nutraceuticals, and some of them are well formulated, clean, and safe, and not adulterated. So I think that those will continue to get better over time, and more people, especially those 35 plus, are going to incorporate those nutraceuticals into their routines. I already do. Fab 5 prediction number 4 in wellness. Stress management will become more personalized or customized, and I think it's going to involve AI, artificial intelligence. How cool would it be to have an app or program where you, of course, enter some data, and then, it finds, the app where the technology finds your best way to, whether it's meditate or do breath work or tapping, right? So we all read how these techniques are wonderful and how they help you reduce stress, lower blood pressure, all that stuff, reduce anxiety. But how do we really know what works the best for us and our chemistry and just the way that we work? I would personally think that that is a very exciting field. So whoever's listening out there, if you're a techie or an app developer, call me. Let's do this. Stress management, personalized, customized through AI on an app. Hello. Ding, 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 ding. I think that prediction that's going to come to fruition. Fab 5 prediction number 5 for wellness. More travel destinations will add programs for detox and well-being. And this is from, your sort of large chains, Marriott's, Hilton's, whatever, to your Uber, exclusive luxury resorts. It cannot be overstated that your well-being should be like first and foremost when you're traveling, right? Yes, I would say that that is extremely important. Okay, so moving on. Beauty. Here are my Fab 5 predictions in beauty for the upcoming present year. Number 1, skincare will incorporate more handheld at-home devices. Oh my gosh. Yes, I think this trend is continuing for sure. It's like every month there's a new handheld, at-home beauty device that is launching on the market. So it's here to stay. It is. Number 2, holistic approaches to beauty will continue to be in demand, prompting more innovation in the management of cellulite, aging, and skin health. It has to be. Right? What do you think produces those wrinkles? It's not just stress. It's not just the sun. It's stuff on the inside too. So holistic approaches to beauty, as I have been touting for decades, okay? You must be tired of hearing me say it, but it's important. It is quintessentially vital to who we are, how we do things, and how we age. So that's my second prediction. Prediction number 3. New injectables, both fillers and neuromodulators, are coming, and they will be introduced into the market. So I know there are Botox fans out there super loyal to Botox. There are Xeomin fans out there super loyal to Xeomin, and the fillers, the Juvederm tribe, right? But more are coming. Get ready. Fab 5 prediction in beauty number 4. Cosmetic plastic surgery, my field, will see a demand for more natural results and not so much the more is more aesthetic. I've been a proponent of this, approach again for over a decade, right? Less is more. Sometimes more is more, but still not the over the top is more. So I think that will continue to be a trend. Fab 5 prediction in beauty number 5. Makeup will begin to incorporate botanical ingredients for more of a functional beauty-based approach. I think that's very sexy. The same, prediction that I had about, customized or personalized stress management through AI. This is sort of on that same level, #next level prediction or possibility that makeup will begin to incorporate more botanical ingredients for more of a functional beauty-based approach. Imagine putting on, a lip gloss or a lipstick that not only plumps, because yes, that's aesthetic, but actually hydrates, nourishes truly with a botanical ingredient that is just so emollient rich and maybe even hyaluronic acid to attract water to keep those lips moist. Nice, right? What about a foundation? And there's some products already out there, but I think this is just going to continue and then just reach another level. What about a foundation that you apply that, yes, is also hydrating, but, also gives you just like a non-toxic, shimmer, and also somehow tightens in the right place, plumps in another place to give you the contour. Oh my gosh, that would be major. I don't wear makeup every day. I certainly wear it for photo shoots and media and stuff. Trust me, I need it for that. But I would invest in functional makeup. There you have it. My Fab 5 predictions in fashion, wellness, and beauty for the present year and upcoming months of 2023. This concludes my episode of 15 Minutes of Fab on the Forever Fab podcast. As always, stay beautiful and forever fabulous inside and out.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty, curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD. Live beautifully and help make the world a more beautiful place.